Hey guys, Buffing Gaming back bringing another video, and today in our weapon conversion series we are going to turn the Ram 7 into the IWI MTAR or the X95 for micro Tavor. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'll show you how to build the weapon. We're going to check out the recoil patterns and then see how it handles in game. So here's our final product. Let's go ahead and strip it down to the base Ram 7 or Tavor variant here. So let's go ahead. First off, we're going to go with the barrel, and for this one, for the MTAR X95 in real life has a 13-inch barrel, so we're going to want that 13.5-inch compact F-TAC barrel. This is going to help with our ADS speed as well as our movement speed, and the cons here are just bullet velocity, obviously because of the shorter barrel, and the recoil control. Next up, we're going to skip the laser as well as what we did with the muzzle. The optic, I'm just going to go with a standard holographic sight. Unfortunately, there's not a Mars sight in the game, but you do have the 4x Cronin 2x2, which is a 4x sight, which is integral, or I guess specific just to the Ram 7 weapon, which you could do, but for a short barrel rifle X95 variant, we're not going to want that. So I think just the standard hollow sight, again, this is personal preference. Then for the stock, we're going to go ahead and want that XRK close quarters stock. So this is, again, going to improve our ADS speed, the only con being the aiming stability, but it's not that big of a negative, so we'll go ahead and take it. Now for the perk, we'll skip that. The rear grip, we're going to want that stippled pistol grip. So the pros here are obviously the ADS speed as well as the sprint to fire speed, which we're going to want with this SBR variant of the weapon. And the only negative here is the aiming stability, which you can see down in the statistics for the weapon itself, the build here. The control is going down it's a minutia amount, so we don't really need to worry about it too much. Then for the ammo, again, our only choice here is 45 round mags. We don't have a 9mm conversion or a 7.62 for the weapon, unfortunately, but we're going to go ahead and skip that for this particular build. And for the underbarrel, I'm going to go with the Commando foregrip. Mainly, this one gives us, for the pros, the recoil stabilization as well as the aiming stability. The only con being movement speed. Now, I prefer this one over some of the other ones for this particular build just because we're not taking a hit with the ADS speed or anything like that, and we want to save on that wherever we can. So I think this one gives me good control for how I'm using the weapon in a CQC environment, but if you're doing something different with this particular build, you may want to get a different grip. But we'll go ahead and do that Commando foregrip. And this is our final variant of the X95 or the MTAR for the Micro Tavor 21. Now, some key differences to note here. Again, I guess there's some differences because I'm not sure why. This is a flat top version of the Tavor. So it's a little different from what we've seen. I believe it was Black Ops 2 we saw the MTAR initially. The one main difference here is the cock and handle. You see the cock and handle is above the handguard. In real life, the cock and handle for the MTAR X95 is moved back, so it'd be right above it'd be above the pistol grip here. So it would be almost in line with the pistol grip, and here we see it more above the handguard. So that's one major difference that I noticed with this. Being a flat top variant of the weapon, everything else looks more so the same. If you go to the IWI website, I'll throw some shots up here on screen as well. So it looks more so the same. Just the position of that cock and handle is the main thing that stands out to me. Also, to note, the handguard, similar with the TAR-21 build that we did, the handguard seems to be a key mod variant, perhaps. I know in real life, the X95 or the Tavor MTAR has 3 different handguard variants. This one doesn't really appear to be closely related to any of them, so I think it's going to be the same type of key mod handguard that we saw. So I'll link that down below. This is again for the X95, so it looks slightly different than we saw on the TAR-21 build the other day with this XRK Ranger, but again, it seems to be a similar type of handguard. But that is the final build for the weapon. This is the IWI X95 or the MTAR. Let's go ahead now and get into it, and we'll check out the recoil patterns with this rifle, and then we'll see how it handles in-game against bots. Okay, now that we're in-game with our MTAR, let's go ahead and check out the recoil patterns. So let's go ahead first, and I'm just going to let this rip, and I'm not going to control it, and we'll see how it handles. So very similar, but a little less prominent than the recoil pattern we saw with the TAR-21. So it's going to go up and to the left, and then it's going to stabilize and do a straight vertical again. But if you go check out the TAR-21 video, it's much more drastic, almost a 90-degree left turn there. So let's go ahead and try and control it now from about the same range. So again, that was not good, but it's kind of hard when you're not aiming at an actual person, but let's try it again. So there you see I'm able to control it much better. Very tight clusters right there. Really, the key is you're going to want to, with this rifle, no matter what barrel you have on, you're going to go down and to the right very slightly, because you can see the straight climb is going to go up and to the left. So let's try it once more. So there you see, we're able to keep it pretty tight. And we'll see this particular build handles really well in game. I do like the recoil pattern on this. Again, you can put some different attachments on, but this is the X95 MTAR-21. Let's go ahead now and get in game and see how it handles. Okay, so now that we're in game with our X95 MTAR-21, let's go ahead and see how it handles. Now, first off, again, some major differences with that cock and handle position. I really wish we would have seen... So right there you can see I'm able to control the recoil very easily versus what we were seeing against the wall. Against the wall, you know, the pattern, again, is just a little awkward, but here in game, I noticed with this particular build, you're able to do it very well. You can see the recoil is very easy to handle here. So again, back to that cock and handle. I wish what we would see, if we selected that barrel, I wish that, I wish the cock and handle would have moved back with the 13-inch barrel. Unfortunately, I wish it would have changed part of the upper there, but unfortunately, they didn't do that. And I understand why, just because they want to give us more options to create different variants of the weapon, which is fine. So that's really a minor detail, and that I doubt too many people will really notice. But if you are a hardcore MTAR fan, you will notice that cock and handle is in a different position. But being a flat top variant, everything else, for the most part, looks pretty spot on. And again, we have that key mod handguard as well. But you can see it does handle well. I do like this particular build a lot. And if you watch the TAR-21 video I did the other day, you'll also notice there that that build itself was a little hard to handle the recoil as well. So it really depends on the attachments that you're going to use with this rifle. But here you can see at the range we're doing, being a 13.5-inch barrel, you know, this is mainly designed for CQC, more so of a carbine rifle, SBR. So it does do what it's built for in this game specifically also. Oh. It's at ranges like that we start to have some trouble, oh boy, some trouble controlling that recoil because of the recoil pattern. So that's where you kind of got to be careful. But other than that, I think it handles really well. If you're looking at your short to medium range engagements, it's going to handle really well, especially with that really high rate of fire that this rifle has. So just some key insights into the weapon itself. In 2009, the X95 was selected as the future standard rifle for the Israeli infantry. So the IWF selected this as their standard in 2009. It's been in service from 2009 to present. Whoop. And it does come in actually a few different barrel lengths. So again, here we're using the 13.5-inch. In real life, it comes with a standard 13-inch. And also you can do conversions to a 15-inch, a 16.5-inch, whoa, as well as a conversion kit to make it a 9mm SMG Parabellum, and that would be an 11-inch barrel. And there's a conversion kit for that in real life to make it a 9mm. So maybe that's another conversion we'll see in the future, making it 9mm, as well as possibly a conversion to 7.62 to make it a Tavor 7, which would be pretty cool. Now, being a short barrel rifle variant here, the rate of fire for this is going to be 750 to 950 rounds per minute. The cartridge, again, being more of an SBR, is going to still be that 5.56 by 45 NATO rounds. Where's this guy going? There we go. It also does take 5.45 by 39. There is a 300 blackout version. There's the 9mm Parabellum, which we did talk about, and then there's also a 5.56 by 30mm variant as well. And you can see the hip fire. This one I didn't really build it for hip fire, but it does, at that closer range, it does handle pretty well for hip fire. Let's see here. That's really about it for this. Again, this is the 2009 adopted as the standard feature weapon for the IDF, Israeli infantry. There we go. And it definitely does its job at close range, which I like a lot. I think this one handles really well. I'm hoping in the future we'll see a blueprint that might move that cock and handle back. So I know in Black Ops 2, I believe we actually saw the MTAR in that game. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for that variant, where was this guy? Oh, okay. The cock and handle was in the right place. I believe it was in Black Ops 2 when we saw this. So and that I'm really sure why with that barrel attachment they didn't move the cock and handle back, but it's not really a huge deal unless you notice it. Other than that, it's pretty spot on, like I said. Let me know what you guys think of this variant. Do you like this build? In particular, what other attachments would you use in place of these ones? I think it does also handle really well with a monolithic suppressor. And I think really any sight on here would do. The Corona 2x2 also works pretty decently too if you can handle that 4x recoil. It does be able to keep it pretty on target, surprisingly. But let me know what you guys think of this weapon down below. Have you used this yet in-game at all? What different attachments do you like? Do you like this build? Is this something you're going to use? Also, be sure to let me know what other weapons you want to see. We do have some more builds coming up with the RAM 7 variants for the conversions. We have, I believe, 1 or 2 more different conversions we can do to make it into a different variant of the weapon. And then there's also some different ones we'll do for the Holger 26. We already covered the G36C a few days ago, and then we covered the G36K A4 yesterday as well. So if you haven't seen those videos, go ahead and check it out. Also, be sure if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to drop a like on the video. It definitely helps out smaller channels like mine, and I know we've grown quite a lot. Again, since the game was launched, it's been about 4 or 5 weeks now, so we have grown a lot. So thank you all for that. And we're going to be announcing the giveaway probably tomorrow, this weekend here coming up. I think what we're going to be doing is doing the PlayStation gift cards, Xbox Live gift cards, or maybe a Steam account gift card of your choosing, depending on what console you're on. So I'm probably going to do 2 giveaways for that, but stay tuned for the details. Most likely in tomorrow's video, we'll be announcing that, and we'll probably pick a winner within the next week or so. That way, if you guys are looking to get the Battle Pass or buy the game, you'll be able to do that as soon as possible. And I think we'll probably do that again for Season 2, or the start of Season 2. And again, probably at 10,000 followers will be a big one for me too. So I really hope we can get there soon. I'm really looking forward to that. And I think we're about to hit 6,500 as of posting this video. So that's good. The one thing to note here, again, similar to what I said with the TAR-21 video, is that the rate of fire is so fast that you may, in some cases, want that 45-round magazine on this. So you have to play with it and see. The rate of fire is really fast, so if you're in a pinch and you run out of ammo like I did in that last set, that's where you may want that 45-round mag. And it definitely could save you more often than not, I feel. Sleight of hand would also be a viable option for this as well. And there you can see the hip fire, not too bad, right? Oh, doesn't handle too well against 725s though. Nothing does. So again, let me know what other builds you guys want to see going forward. Be sure to also check me out on Twitch with the link down below in the description. I'll be live streaming over there. Most likely, I think Thursdays, and then on weekends we'll be live streaming. So I'll either be over on Twitch or on YouTube. So I would let everyone know usually before I go live, and you should get the notification if you subscribe. So do that. I also have my Twitter and Instagram accounts linked in the description below. So if you're trying to get a hold of me, if you have some information that you want me to see, be sure to contact me on one of those 2 platforms. I usually will see YouTube, but again, it might take me a little longer to get back to you. So if you want to get a hold of me quick, those would be the ones to use. So this is the X95 MTAR. Just really quick, there are other conversions for this weapon. The X95, as we said, the 300, X95 300, 380, 419 are just more so different barrel lengths. It does come with different round conversions. Also, it takes the Russian calibers, like we said. Whoop. Get that riot shield out of here. You can see it. The rate of fire really hits hard with this one. It does handle really well.
1 minute remaining.
Especially in a situation like that. There we go. That was pretty nice.
builder 20, good.
So that's where that rate of fire is definitely going to help you out more times than not. Got a nice little streak going here. This is where this weapon shines, is in close quarters combat like that. So that is the IWI MTAR-21, or the X95 as you may know it, Micro Tavor. Let me know what you guys think in below. Also be sure to subscribe and like the video. And until next time, Buff Nerd Gaming, out.